Hey there. It's been a week about now, something like that. I wanted to make this video a little bit sooner because yeah, I wanted to be sure that this is basically a weekly thing so that we can definitely spend time with each other again like this. And there's just been some things that I have been dealing on the side with, some shenanigans going on with some tough times basically, and I figured that this may or may not be then a potential good opportunity to be talking about hardships, basically how I dealt with certain hardships and during my depression, during my darkest times. And this is something that I would also like to be able to somewhat guide you in, or help you in processing that, basically. And do note that whatever I'm going to tell you, it's not going to be like some lighthearted thing, or it's going to be like, I'm not saying that this is going to be a solution to whatever you might be going through, because for everyone that is going to be unique. And that's why I wanted to be sure that you know that first and foremost. Sadly enough, there is no like thing that is basically a, generally speaking, like universal key to happiness, right? So for me, maybe I should start with the beginning, with things that have happened to me, so that you guys kind of know like my backstory, and maybe that could all tie in with how I approach things now. So I'll try to keep it short and sweet. Well, it's not going to be sweet whatsoever, but basically, when I was a child, I was basically bullied very, very harshly. Was bullied extremely harshly, and there wasn't really anyone that I could count on to basically help me during those times. It got to the point where I got beat up almost on a daily basis. I got locked up in elevators. People were pulling my hair. People even set my hair on fire. It wasn't fun. It absolutely wasn't. I hated every second that I spent at school, and additionally to that, I had to basically live at school, because my dad used to work in an American air base in Germany. And during the week, I had to stay at a boarding school, basically the same school that I went to. So that basically meant like the entirety of the week, except for the weekends, I would be at school with those bullies, basically. And my brother was there too. But he didn't really help. And at some points, he would even join in with the bullying too. So there literally was no one that I could reach out to. But yeah, like every second at school, I absolutely did not enjoy that whatsoever. Got to the point where I almost committed suicide at a very young age. Yeah, I know this is going to be a bit of a thing. That maybe I hope that YouTube will at least allow me to speak about this topic. But even then, like, I'll also upload it to Twitter, so that in case people, would like to see there, if YouTube is going to get me, something going on with, like, whatever is allowed and isn't allowed to be talked about. But it's gotten so bad that ever since then, since my younger age, or since my younger days, that I have wanted to put an end to everything myself. And it's been tough, really. It's been tough, and I've been struggling with that still to this day, basically, with all other things that have been happening to me. And that is something that I'm still being treated for. I've even considered recently to be like willfully institutionalized, so that I could basically save myself from doing anything stupid, because I want to be able to guarantee that I'm going to be around for all of you. And that's something that I would really, really like to guarantee, because none of you would deserve to be hearing that kind of bad news. But not only to that, or not only with what happened at school, there was also an incident where I was basically, I don't know how to say this on YouTube. I hope that YouTube is gonna allow this to happen, but or allow me to say this, basically. But I am a victim of multiple rapes. And it is something that I'm also still like remembering quite often. And it is a bit of a struggle. It is something that has taken a very long time for me to finally somewhat live with it, that it happened, to accept that it did happen and that I cannot go back in time to prevent it from happening in the first place, even though I would very much like to be able to do so. But yeah, there's nothing really that you can do. There's nothing really that you can do. And recently, like also during some dark time where I basically discovered Zentrea, for example. Like I was basically at the dark time. I wanted to put an end to my own life, basically. And randomly on YouTube, as I was scrolling, I was also scrolling like, would anyone reach out to me? No one did. And this was way before like I was like a VTuber or something along those lines. And I found a random video of Zentrea, which was this video of where he was basically talking about his mother, like the strength that his mother had despite all the bullshit that was happening. And he basically said a very heartwarming, or told a very heartwarming story of that despite everything that happened, that his mother was still smiling through all of it, and that she seemed to be a very caring person despite like some struggles that were between him and his mother, or between Zen and his mother, which really brought a lot of like motivation and strength and inspiration to me to keep moving on, and that I'm definitely not alone when it comes to struggles in life, basically. And that's basically how I became a fan of Zentrea, like, and still to this day I am, even though there are some disagreements that I have about him, but that doesn't mean that I'm against him. And correlation to that, there's also been some drama going around that people would like to perpetuate, something that we already moved on from, but it's something that people recently really like to pry open again, even though like Barefoot and I basically, like Barefoot is one of the moderators, like if not the manager, she's like the manager of Zentrea. And that we were like, we were basically burying the hatchets after a very long time of discussions back and forth. And I'm not gonna lie, I did things that I'm not proud of. Basically, I was, for example, I was basically saying quite some parasocial stuff, but in comparison to what is currently allowed, I would say that it is very mild compared to what you would see in public nowadays from your average Zentrea fan. And that is fine if they want to do so, but it's just weird that I'm being condemned for what I did, but they are not. And that is something that I'm still struggling with, because this whole thing that led up, this drama thing that kept going on, it is something that people would like to pry open. And that is, again, recently someone, or multiple people actually, quite a bunch of people that really like to pry open drama in my darkest times, and some struggles I've been going with, some hardships I've been going through. And despite everything, I still want to be able to work for a peaceful solution, basically. A peaceful solution and proper talks, basically. Because perpetuating in some vengeful spree, basically, that these people would like to do just to open up some drama is something that I do not want to be part of. But however, that does not mean that I am not going to be speaking the truth. At some point, I will be speaking the truth in terms of the drama that has been going on. And that's why I find it important for people who are going through struggles, or who are, for example, being bullied, or being harassed by someone, or if you know someone, or if you're, for example, a VTuber and there are people who are harassing you, that it is always in your best interest, from my experience, that you would always handle in truth, no matter what they say about you. And this is also something that I would like to share, that it's something that I heard Markiplier say, that if they don't know me, it doesn't matter what they say. And there is a truth to that the people, like if you think about it, the people who constantly want to bring you down are usually those that know the least about you as a person. they only know very like out of context things and try to label you in such a way that they think that you are. And that's why this correlates into another quote that I would like to use, which is, I am not who you think I am. You are who you think I am. Which basically results in whatever they think about you, most of the time they are being that evil person that they claim you to be. And this is something that I have to learn, I have to teach that to myself almost every day, because I would spiral down these self-condemning, basically, like these self-condemning routes of like, I'm not good enough, I am this, I am that, they are right about me, they are this, and things like that. While if they don't know who I am, how do they know who I am? Which makes no sense. And that's why it is very important to believe in who you are. And it is not a bad thing to self-reflect. Let me be clear about that too. It is very important to self-reflect, to see for yourself whatever they are saying. Like you should take that into consideration and see like, what is their point of view? What do they think? And then you can decide like, okay, they say this about me. Is this true? And then you can decide for yourself like, okay, this is not true, or there might be some truth to it. And then if there is some truth to it and like, oh, this bothers me, or like, maybe I should change something about that, then you can do so, which is a blessing in a sense that when people do so, and they are right, basically, like at least partially, that like, oh, hang on a second, they got a point. It doesn't mean that whatever they are doing, that therefore it is okay, don't get me wrong. It's just that if that is an issue, maybe I should try to fix it. If there is an issue that needs to be fixed, because again, you can't fix what ain't broke, or whatever the saying is. And that is something that is also very important, that you should always be learning yourself, or like learning yourself to be, or teaching yourself to be the best version of yourself. No matter if people try to bring you down, no matter if life in itself tries to bring you down, it doesn't matter what happens outside of the world, like with what you see, with what you observe. And despite my hardships, all the things I've told you, all the things that I experienced, those are all outside factors. However you go through life is whatever happens within your mind. It is within your own head and your own mind that you get to say whether or not you want to let it affect you or not, or to do something about it in case it should bother you. In case something bothers you that you might feel like, oh, I'm not good enough for this, I'm not good enough for that. Well, then ask yourself the question, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? Because there is no one in life that will live life in your stead. It has to be completely from you. And this is something that I learned from my mother. And maybe also another extra story that I would like to share is, my mother is a very caring and warm person. And she's also gone through so much. And despite all the bullshit that she went through, she still forgives everyone and wants to get along with everyone, even those that have wronged her, that have hurt her deeply. And she still wants to be able to work together and to make peaceful amends, basically. That's what she wants to do all the time. And that is something that I inherited from her, because it's the same thing with me, that I also believe that whenever someone has wronged me, I would still give them the chance to be like, hey, can we talk things through? Can we have a proper conversation, get to the root of the problem, why you feel a certain way about me, and we can work things out. And that is something that brings me, during my darkest times, peace to myself, rather than just wallowing down, or wallowing, whatever the saying is. Basically, just instead of sulking in whatever is being thrown at you, I'm going to basically investigate and see for myself, what can I do about this to prevent this from happening again? And how can I make sure that I get a positive result out of this? Because if you are being criticized by someone, if you're being hated by someone, and they throw certain names at you, they throw insults, they lie about you, It's entirely up to you how you want to make sure that whatever happens, that you get a positive result out of it. And it doesn't mean that you have to be vengeful about things. It doesn't mean that you have to go back and attack people back, or like throw insults or slurs back, or spread lies like back to them. Like, oh, you said this about me? Well, how about this? You said this about me, even though you don't know for sure whether or not that it's true. So that's why that also correlates with always speaking in truth, because whenever you lie about someone, there is no foundation for you. And it's the same the other way. Whenever people are lying about you, what is their foundation? Their foundation stands on just literally just basically toothpicks, basically just a house of cards built foundation kind of thing, right? Where just like all these playing cards that they play with basically, and just they throw out whatever. They don't know you, so they throw out whatever the fuck that they want in an attempt to hurt you, in an attempt to basically reach you in your deepest points, even though they don't know who you are. Which also, like, think about it, this doesn't make sense. Because if they don't know you, how do they know where your deepest points are? Because then they would just lie about you and they have no foundation whatsoever. And for me, again, these hardships that I've been experiencing, especially recently, because there's apparently some parody account going around that would really like to just bring me down in every possible way, but those are all lies that I can debunk easily. Just with a snap, like literally a Thanos snap, I could literally debunk everything. And even then, I don't have to. I literally don't have to. You know why? Because this is why, like, it is very important with like the previous video that I made, that if you have people that you can turn to, that know you for who you are, that validates that whatever you might be thinking of whatever everyone else might be thinking, including your haters, that they are wrong, because your true friends, they will say who you are, not those liars. Your friends will vouch for you for the person that you are. The people that you can turn to in correlation with, see, this is why, again, this is all in tangent, who with the previous video, that if you have people that you can turn to, they will verify and vouch for you of the person that you are. They are the validation that you need. And that's all the validation that you need. And even then, again, like I said before, even then, when people are fully on hating you, do not respond with hatred back at them, but speak the truth. That is the hardest way that you can counter them. Always speak the truth. Even if it makes you look silly, even if you sound stupid, or you sound like some kind of a pompous asshole, basically. No, always speak the truth. Because the truth is that you cannot break down the truth. It counters all lies. And this is like something that I've learned throughout my entire experience as a VTuber, that it is so much more important to build yourself as a character, in a sense of the personality that you are, and that you stand firm in, like, that you basically stand firm, right? That no matter what's being thrown your way, you will stand your ground, and when you are handling in truth, nothing can break you down, because you know what is true. Because people can say all kinds of nasty shit about you. People can do or say whatever they want. But there's always one thing that they can never ever break, and that is the truth. That is why the truth is always a very, very handy thing to have on your side. Because there's an infinite amount of truth and only a limited amount of lies. At some point, they will have to remember the lie that they made up. And that's the thing, you don't have to have good memory to speak the truth. Because the truth is always just the way that it is. Undeniably so. And undeniably, I believe you to be a good person. And there's nothing that can break you down. The only things that will let you break down, basically, or that will break you down, is you yourself. It is you who gets to decide whether or not you should let things affect you. Because everything else, you can say things, like people can say things at you, but who is going to react to it? They are not going to react in your stead. People are not just going to be, making you say or feel certain things. It is entirely up to you. You get to decide for yourself what you want to do with whatever is being thrown at you. But it is always most important to handle with truth, but also with kindness and love to the people. Always, including, especially those that hate you. You have to show them love. You have to show them appreciation. And it can happen. And I'm a victim, or I'm guilty of that as well. And that is something that I got from my dad. Thanks, Dad. That's basically whenever someone's throwing shit at me, I am inclined to also just instantly throw shit back. And that is wrong of me. And I know that it is wrong of me. And I'm guilty of that. And whenever you have seen that side of me, I deeply apologize. And I always will apologize for the way that I have behaved. But the reason why is purely because I want to defend myself, because I know what is true, and I just don't tolerate lies. I don't tolerate manipulation. I don't tolerate deceit. And this is something that is also very important. While you have to show love, especially to those that hate you, while you have to defend yourself properly without showing, without throwing slurs or insults or whatever, even then, you have to make sure that you show yourself to be the better person than them. Be the bigger person, but always handle in truth. And if you have to speak the truth, always do so, no matter what it leads to. Nothing is more powerful than the truth itself. And this will help you break through your hardships, the people that might be hating you, the people that might be doubting you, because it is entirely up to you, and it is you who gets to decide what you want to do during your hardships, during your darkest times. It is up to you to basically get up off of your seat and do something about something that has happened to you and fix it, because no one else is going to do it for you. It might not look like it at the moment, that whatever you might be going through, that it seems all hopeless. It seems like you can't do anything. It seems like the world is crashing down around you. It's up to you to decide whether you want to let darkness take over your life, or step up and keep getting up. No matter how many times that life keeps bashing you down, it is up to you whether you want to keep laying down or being beat on the ground, or to get up over and over again, no matter how many tries it takes. If you already are able to get up even one singular time, that's already a huge step forward, because that means that you know what is right and that you don't want to give up. I know that you have the strength within you to keep moving on with whatever has happened. And even in my darkest times, with the story that you know about me, despite everything that happened to me, the entire reason why I keep doing things is for you, but also because I want to see people be happy. I want to save people from loneliness and depression. I want to save people from the cages that I have been in, from the cage that to this day I am still in. That's why I'm doing this for myself, because I find it my responsibility, in a sense of my duty, or the reason why I've been placed into this world, is to help people like you. To you who might be listening to this, to you who might be watching this, it is for people like you that I want to help. That's what I believe. I believe that is why I have been placed on this dirtball of a planet, to be there for you. And that's what I will always do. And that's why during your darkest times, with everything that I've said, even though it might look hopeless right now, you have the strength to keep moving on within you. And it's going to take a while. And for everyone, that's going to be different. For everyone, that's going to be a tougher battle than someone else. But that doesn't mean that it's impossible. Anything is possible. Anything is possible for you to keep moving on and to achieve what you wanted for yourself in life. And it doesn't have to be I want to have a giant car, a giant house, a fancy car. I want the biggest jewelry. I want the newest gaming console, whatever, right? It's more in the sense of, what things do you really need in life to be happy? What brings you joy? What brings you happiness? What is something that you would want to see again every day? Who do you want to see every day? Who do you want to fight for? What do you want to fight for? And it can be multiple reasons. You might have been going through a similar story to mine, where you haven't bullied your entire life, when you've been singled out your entire life, when no one wanted you. And here you are, maybe alone, sitting behind your chair, watching this video of this random, model that you are seeing on screen right now, or listening to this voice, basically. But the fact that you are here right now and still here right now should say a lot, though, that there's still fight within you, because if you've given up, why are you still here then? Answer me that. Does that not testify to the strength that you have within you? Does it not define or literally prove to you that you do have what it takes to break out of this darkness that you might be going through? Every story is going to be different. There might be other people that you know in your life that had it easier than you. There might be other people that you might see like, oh, they're having it so much better than me, and why are they so lucky? Why are this and me? Well, I'm here with a shitty job or no job whatsoever. You're pointing fingers at people like, oh yeah, it's because of this person that I didn't get that job, or it's because of that person that I didn't get my attention on some streaming thing, or it's because of this or because of that. That is all, remember what I said, this is all outside factors. Whatever's happening to you right now, how you want to approach that, how you want to process that, is entirely up to you and what's happening within your mind, what's happening within your thoughts. So what are you going to do about it? You have to find the victories that matter to you. It doesn't matter how many victories you have. That is important to win the battles that you want to win. That's why always speak in truth, act in love, and always show kindness to the people, and especially those that hate you, because only the unloved hates. And remember that, because you will soon, or you will one day, maybe sooner or later, come to learn that. And you will see every time that something bad happens to you, or if someone in your life is basically ruining your life, see what happens when you answer in love. See what happens when you return, or basically retort their hatred or their hostility towards you with love and kindness. And it doesn't mean that you have to perpetually say, oh, I'm going to do this for you, or don't worry about, or this or that. No. You have to be willing to show love and kindness while also being assertive, saying hey, I want to work things out. If you want to, I'll be here. And if you need something, I'll be here. I'm willing to talk about anything, or I'm willing to work things out. That is it. You basically reach out your hand, and if they don't want to take it, that's on them. You did your part. And if they don't want to take it, you move on. That's it. Simple as that. And that is how, in the ideal situation, that you would want to approach things. Because even then, against hatred, it's a never-ending battle if you feed it with hatred. You can't fight darkness with additional darkness, because then it just grows and it makes your heart turn to stone. And maybe you're already at that point. Maybe you're already at that point that you cannot decide or know what to do with whatever, maybe this grudge that you might have against someone. It eats you every day. If you know someone that has insulted you, that has hurt you, or some event, some past memory that basically has controlled your life, that has clouded your mind, that you cannot let go. It is important to never forget those moments. I will say that. Never forget what happened to you. But that doesn't mean that you should let that define you. You should be able to turn whatever happened to you into a lesson and a strength of how to approach it for a next time. Because now you are prepared. You've already fought that battle, you have lost. The battle is here again, but at least you know what's coming. And so you can prepare. So that's why, for me, I have also learned that way, that whatever battles I might be fighting, I know what I have to do. Especially in the situation that I'm in, I will always speak the truth. Even if it leads me to my death, even if it leads me to me getting cancelled, I will always speak the truth, no matter what happens. And that's why I find it always important. If people would like to know about me, especially those people that hate me, especially the people that believe lies about me in my situation, I reach out my hand to them and say, hey, I want to work things out. Let's talk. Let's talk things through. And I will tell you the truth. That is all that I will do. Whatever they will do with that information is entirely up to them. I have given them what they requested. I've given them the truth. It is entirely up to them whether they want to accept it or not. I have done my parts. See how this all correlates with each other? And it's the same thing for you too. It is the same thing for you too, to take the steps to provide a peaceful solution to whatever situation that you might be in. If you have done your parts, you move on and you keep doing what makes you happy. And it will take time. It will take time for you to maybe find your peace. But if you keep working towards it, at some point you will reach that point that you will be happy with the things that you have. The things that you will have, or the things that you have now, are more than enough to basically keep moving you forward, into the next step in your life. And that's why I find it so important that it is always very important to show yourself some love and to love yourself for who you are. You know who you are. The people around you know who you are. The struggles that you've been going on, that you've been battling, those things have only made you stronger up to the day, like that you will keep continuing. You will keep fighting these battles. It's going to be, there's always going to be something. But every single time you will be more and more prepared. And at some point, take it from me, at some point, you will see like, oh, okay, that's it. And you won't linger on those bad moments anymore as you've used to. Because it's because of you. Because you handle the things in your own way. And you've let whatever is happening outside be an outside factor, whatever is happening inside be an inside factor. Whatever's happening outside in the world is beyond your control. But it doesn't mean that the world controls you. You control yourself. You are behind the controller of player one. That is you. No one else gets to pick your controller. It is your controller. It's uniquely to you. You control the joysticks. You control the buttons. However you want to set your character in whatever direction. That's entirely up to you. And whatever journey you might be going on, maybe a little something that I've learned from Doom, for example, and maybe that would be a good thing to finish up this recording, because I'm rambling at this point and it's also getting quite lengthy. That's basically with the whole gaming analogy, right? So you have the controller in hand, you're moving in whatever direction you want, but if Doom has taught me anything, the more enemies that you encounter, the closer that you are to the right way and the exit to the next chapter in your life.